Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpacktrader Trading Room for Tuesday, January 10th. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not to be considered individual financial advice. This type of trading carries significant risks and should only be attempted with risk capital, i.e. capital you can afford to lose. All right. Please do say hello in the chat. Good morning, Arizona Bob. All right. Well, energies were not nice to us this morning. 9 a.m. start on crude gives us a get in sync on this long trade at 75.08. We get a short at 94, which stop and reverse adjust would take that to 92, and we just touch 92. So it looks like we do reverse to short, and then it goes immediately to the stop. This magenta trade is, in my estimation, too fast to deal with. It goes 4 seconds from setup to its first printed bar and just keeps on going. So I would assume that to be a no trade. Good morning, Miles. Good morning, Bob. And please do ask any questions that you have. That's one of the things we're here for, that I'm here for. So anyway, we actually have two losses there. If you follow the two loss stop, that's where you would stop this in the session. If not, you do pick up this short trade and you get 14 ticks to target 1 and 22 to target 2. So 36 tick gain, and that does mitigate some of the loss. Definitely going to be a losing session this morning. And unleaded looks to be even worse. All right. The YM is flat at the moment, and no trades on offer. Soybeans is also flat. The market is just about to open. And there is our magenta bar allowing us to take shorts after that crossover of the 50 crossing above the 200. There's our man. That was too fast to trade on soybeans. I saw that. Yeah, same second on the open. It is a valid get in sync at the moment. Has not hit its target 1 yet. The YM is still flat. Looks like the Russell may have. Yep, that would be a valid trade. And coming back to the entry, so we are in that trade. We did hit money management on the spike. So depending on what happened first, and it's a break-even trade. And now in the short. touched the entry, but too fast to get in. So we'll call that a get in sync at the moment, unless it hit the stop. So that becomes a no trade. And the YM has a short trade that's a full stop out, unfortunately. $28 tick risk, 56 tick loss. Here's another short at 54. No trigger there. And we have another long. And we have both the stop and the entry being hit on the same bar, so the calculator's not tracking. So we'll have to break that bar down to tell for sure, but at this point, if it's a valid trade, it is being successful so far, working to try to hit target 3, and it just did. Soybeans did get in sync and now has a target 1. That is a POQ because it just stopped out on the trailer. So soybeans picks up 12 on the target 1. 3 positions remaining, 80.75 to 82.25. 6 ticks on those 3 is another 18 ticks. So 30 tick net, 7.5 points on soybeans for a one and done session. And another short on the YM, 689. Our prior short did cancel. Just missing money management, but on an uptrend. And another full loss. So that one is a 22 tick risk, 44 tick loss. So we're down exactly 100 ticks on the YM this morning. All right, while we're looking for a trade on the YM, and the Russell, if it's valid, would be trailing. I've got to look at what the trailer is on that one. I know it's the EMA there. Okay, it's a 6 tick offset. That's what I was looking for. So we are 088, so we would be at 082 for the trailer at the moment. All right. Still nothing on just the 2 short losses and the cancel short on the YM. $8.06 for the trailer now on 8.6 for the trailer. Now we get to 8.8. And there is a long trade on the YM off the 20 SMA, and that goes for a full loss. Not a nice morning on the YM. That is a 25 tick risk, so we're down 150. And we'll wait for the next trade. Looks like an uptrend, but a very noisy one. And we do stop out at 8.8, 1808.8. Well, yeah, we do. We do get down there. And so we're looking for our next trade on the Russell. Unleaded is actually in this short trade that's showing. That is trade number 6 on the session. That'll be the last trade. Okay, we've got another overbought reading, so we could get another short here. And there it is, and triggering in, so we are short. Trade number 4, and that's money management. Target 1 is 27 ticks. Not getting there yet. Looks like we may get a stop out at 721. Yep, stopping out at 721. So I'm just picking up 2 ticks there. So it's still down 148. And good morning, Pamela, Trader Man. That's the 4th trade on the YM. Let's take a look at the micro NQ and see what's happening there. Okay, 4 minutes after open is the trade plan we run in the room. So we pick up the short and definitely in it. Long trade on the YM for trade number 5. 28 ticks to target. See if the 50 will hold, and another full stop out. Just out of sync this morning. The Russell, if it was valid, gave us a winning trade. And we have a winning trade on MNQ. Target 2 achieved. And we are at 11,217 even for the break-even stop. And the YM, that was a 37 tick risk. That'll be a 74 tick loss. So we're down 222. And trailing on the micro NQ, 11,198.75. Trying to work down to target 3 at 76.75, but stopping out. And now we go long. Plenty of time to get in this one. And the YM posted a long in 3 seconds, which is way too fast to have traded. And of course, that one is the one that hits target 1, right? That is a no trade. And has hit money management, so we can't get into that. Russell with a long setup just touched. I'm assuming that was a spike up and then stopped out. So that trade should be avoidable. The long trade, unfortunately, on the MNQ was definitely tradable. We were watching that one, and that did go for a full stop. Soybean with another successful trade. Target 1 and trailing now. And the YM with a new long at 731. Trade number 5. See if we can mitigate some of this mess. Markets are not sure where they're going right now, it looks like. All right, definitely in the long. Russell with another long setup has not triggered. In the YM long. Still in the short on unleaded. And the YM's 10. And another stop out. I think that's enough. That's going to be enough on the YM. And now the market's breaking down. Short on the Russell and on the MNQ. Seven seconds. I probably had an entry. Probably could get an entry there on the Russell. Trying to get to target 3 for a second winner there. Assuming a second winner, assuming that earlier trade was valid. Now the MNQ, okay. Looks like we got a longer bar on the second bar. And then, now that may or may not, we'll have to look, we'd have to break that one down. I'll go ahead and follow it as a winning trade. Target 2 achieved and trailing. 63.75 for the trailer. And targets 3 and 4 on the Russell. 03.2 for the trailer. And I haven't said anything about the pound Aussie. It was late to the game this morning, 8:30 start time, getting the first trade until 9:22. Picking up a long that doesn't get to money management, 12 pip minimum. So that was target 2, and it never got there. Stops and reverses to short at 76.27. And is now taking heat on that short. All right, micro NQ picks up targets 2 and 3, stops out at 63.75, and now a new long trade. That should have had time to get into that on that second bar. Didn't come back on that one. Came close. And the Russell stops out at 032. Okay, we just did get back to the entry on the micro NQ, so we are in that long. Now we get a short on the YM, and it immediately starts taking heat. Let's see, 816.40 is I believe that's the 6. Yeah, that's the 6-point MNQ. We've been using the 12-point in here. That's what we have been discussing the other times you were in here, William. But yeah, I'm using the 1236.84, which is the 12-point brick 3-point offset in here, especially because the 6-point has gotten to be where it can be it really, really fast at 6.2. I still have it on here. Don't use it as nearly as much. Okay. MNQ has reached money management. Stop at 72.20, 72.25, 72.50, and just stopped out for a break even. And I didn't see how long the Russell spent at the entry on that long, and then comes down for a stop out. Soybeans, third winning trade, going through all three targets, this time on the short side. But looks like it did spike back up and hit the entry. Well, I haven't. I've kept with the original there. That's the 15 or 1.5 point or 15 tick brick, 5 tick offset. But yeah, I've been running the 12 point MNQ for quite a while in the room here. We ran the 6 for a while, and it was too fast to trade reasonably successfully. All right, trade number 6 on the YM would be money management and target 1, so that would at least mitigate some if you took the 6th trade. And stopping out on the trailer, so minimal win there but getting a target 1. 35 ticks on target. Entry was 659 and stop was 652. So 7 ticks, 35 ticks on target, 7 ticks on the trailer, and that's it for the session. Tough session on the YM on crude and on unleaded. And the MNQ, that's not nice. We take a full stop on the short. Actually, no, we do a stop and reverse to long. But did we get into the long? 3, 4, 5, 6 second bar there. Maybe we got back. And that's the same second. Looks like it probably got to break even without giving us a chance to get back. Well, actually on that 6 second bar, I think we might have a chance because we'd be at like 85.25. I haven't really looked at what the stop and reverse adjustment would be on this. But there's a possibility you could get in that on the reversal. If so, it's target 2 already and just missing target 3. Trailer at 202.25, 202.25. And the pound Aussie short now on the plus side. The settings that you got the last time were the 12-point bar, William. We hadn't gone over the 6-point bar. I haven't slowed it down in quite a while. It's been several months running the 12-point bar now. It's not been a recent thing. Okay. Yeah, when we went over the MNQ settings, that was on the 12-point bar, and actually we're using the same settings on the 12-point bar that we were using on the 6. This is an example chart to start from. I'm pretty sure we went through the 1236.84 as well. But yeah, it's the same settings other than just the data series. Yeah, well, that's why there's only one set of settings. It's the same set of settings. It's the same settings. We haven't changed anything. The only difference is the bar size, which is obviously going to change the trade size, but doesn't change any of the other settings. Now, on the 12-point bar, I don't think the fixed target is nearly as relevant. Targets 1 through 4 are fine, but see, the fixed target is just below target 4 here. Or actually, target 3. Yeah, that's target 3. Yeah, fixed target running in between targets 2 and 3. So that it's not as significant as it was on the 6-point bar. Because obviously on the 6-point bar, that was a okay. My data series is 12 tick trend, 36 tick open offset, and an 84 tick reversal. That produces a 12-point bar with a 3-point offset. All right, and the MNQ did stop out after hitting target 3. So that is 1 break even, 2, 3 wins, 1, 2 losses so far. So, and a break even. So that ends the session. That was trade number 6. We don't do anything with this short trade because that would be our 7th trade. All right, Russell stopped out of the short. Now back to a long. And found Aussie back into negative territory again. So not sure where it's going at the moment. I think the markets are all in that kind of situation. I noticed that the pound Aussie overbought, oversold, and the trend strength indicator were all indicating very little movement back and forth. Just barely got the oversold readings there to get the long trade that was not successful. And had been since the last reading of either overbought or oversold above 0 was like 10 o'clock last night until shortly after 9 o'clock this morning. So like 11 hours without an overbought or oversold reading above 0. That is definitely an indication of a slow market. And long on, I'm sorry, the short on the Russell stops out. Well, let's see, that's 2 losses. And yeah, that would be, that's the 3rd loss, so that would end the session. Probably positive session. A couple of winners and three losses. It looks like 2, maybe 3 winners. All right, so coming up, oh, we are in the 10 o'clock crude session. And in a short there. And I'm falling down on the job. And a filtered, that is a crossover filter filtering out that long stop and reverse. So currently short on crude. Now let's go back and see if the short trade on, yeah, the short trade finally worked itself out, picking up target 1 and 2 and trailing about halfway between targets 1 and 2. That was its 6th trade, but it was definitely not likely to get positive because there was only 1 break even in the prior 5. We can go back and take a look at that. And we have a stop and reverse potential on the pound Aussie. We've got a long setup at 76.41, so that would be 76.43. That's where our stop and reverse is. crude still just kind of stuck. Actually, just bounced off the 50 a little bit, 50 and the 200. And will it go down further? Down below $75 a barrel. And so still short. Came within about a half a pip of the stop and reverse. Stop and reverse adjustment doing its job so far. Protecting the trade we're in. And crude. Challenging the stop. Getting as high as 14. 15. One tick from the stop. And stopping out and immediately getting into a long at 75.17. Not looking nice. Okay. And we did stop and reverse on the pound Aussie as well. Pound Aussie seemed to be making a move there. So now long on crude, long on the Pound Aussie, and waiting to see where things go. Not a whole lot going on there at this point. Oh my. Pound Aussie now heading back down. And crude right around the entry for the long. So yeah, the micro Russell and the YM both setting session highs. And soybeans is the market today. Fourth trade and all successful. All right. Crude trying to make an up move now. Let's see, what was the loss on that first trade? 64 ticks. 32 tick risk. That was actually a bit slightly larger than usual trade. Both trades just kind of sitting there, back below the Entry on crude. Stuck in between the 50 and the 200 on the pound Aussie at the moment. Actually, between the 20 SMA and the 50 EMA. All right, crude taking a full stop out on the long. That's two full losses that will end the session. All right. All right, let's take a quick look at what unleaded did this morning. We have the trade 10 seconds before our start time. That's a get in sync. And we do, and then we stop and reverse to short for a full loss, just like the full crude contract. Then we get a break even, actually just lose a couple of ticks, or a couple of ticks, still have a couple of ticks risk on with the major key level adjustment. Come down, we touched the money management and then came back and stopped out for trade 3. Trade 4 was a short. It stopped and reversed to long for a full loss. And then we finally got the 3, 4, 5, and 6 was the short that meandered about and finally worked its way out. So a really nasty morning on the energies. 2 losing sessions on the full crude contract and a losing session on the unleaded contracts. So on that note, folks, not a whole lot for me to talk about other than the pound Aussie, and that's just kind of stuck at the moment. But not moving very far, very fast. So I am going to bring it to a close this morning. We will have a regular session tomorrow morning and the crude oil inventory report at 10:30. I forgot that the crude oil inventory report was last Thursday and hadn't even thought about it until we were in the room. I'm using Spotlight, the 8 tick or 8 cent momentum bar on TradeStation, 8 cent range bar, 8 tick range bar on NinjaTrader. That's what Troy and I have been using in the room pretty much since Spotlight came out. In fact, since Spotlight came out, that's what we've been using, I believe. Five tick is just a little too fast. All right, Pat. Thank you. Have a good one, Pamela, and you too, Miles. But it's very unusual to get two losing sessions at 9 and 10 on crude. Yeah, 8 tick or 8 cent actually is what you have to put in. 0.08 would be your, in TradeStation, would be your momentum bar. Yes, exactly. TradeStation uses the price movement, not the tick value, not the number of ticks. So you actually have to know what the tick value is and convert that into a price movement to get to specify your bar sizes for range bars and range and momentum bars, and Renko bars, etc. Things like that, where you have to specify a range. All right, everybody. Trader Man, you have a good day too. The 377 tick is not a bad chart. What we've seen, or at least what we've noticed, especially in the crude oil inventory report session, is that the 377 tick trades have gotten to be fairly large. And I think some of that is because with the micro introduction of the micro crude, some of the smaller retail traders are using the micro crude rather than the full crude. So you're getting larger trade sizes, but not as many trades on the full crude. So it tends to make those 377 tick bars tend to have gotten bigger, and so you can get some really large trades on the 377 tick. And they can often take a good while to work their way out as well. And that was one of the major reasons that because Troy had been running the crude oil inventory session up until probably fourth quarter last year, or third, right at the third or fourth quarter, somewhere third or fourth quarter last year, had been running that on the 37. He'd been running the 377 tick counterpunch chart as his primary chart on the crude oil inventory session. And what we began to see after the micro crude was introduced is it tended to get slower and slower finishing. One of the reasons he used it was because it typically finished faster than Spotlight. But that characteristic seemed to change after the micro crude got well established, and it got to be where the Spotlight was starting to consistently finish before the 377 tick counterpunch. Consequently, you were ending up being exposed to a lot more of the market in crude with the 377 tick, and you had larger trades producing higher risks. So that's the primary reason he switched to the spotlight 8-cent range for the crude oil inventory report. But that's the reasoning behind why we've been sticking with the 8-tick or 8-cent momentum or 8-tick range, depending on your platform, on Spotlight over the 377 tick on Counterpunch. Not saying it's a bad chart. The 8-tick momentum or the 8-cent momentum on Counterpunch would be another good choice. It's going to have a little bit more controlled risk. It's going to be in the 20 to 25 tick. Typically, that's your risk is going to be in the 20 to 27 tick range per trade. But basically, do your testing, and if you find the profitability you're looking for, stick with it. And you want to keep an eye on it, keep tracking it, and make sure it's not changing on you. Yeah, much smaller trades typically, because it's a 3-bar setup, and so the 8-tick range you're going to get 26 tick is your typical maximum range, unless it takes an additional bar to get past the balance line or something like that. So your maximum typical maximum trade size or risk is going to be about 30 ticks. Whereas with 377 tick of late, you've had some really big trades, considerably more risk than that per trade. The nice thing about the range bars is the trade sizes are much more consistent. You don't get extremely big or extremely small. You get some very small trades, but you don't get any. You get extremely big trades. Because it is actually based on price action and not just numbers of trades, which tick chart is, or time. Yeah. Yeah, that's a 50. Well, yeah, 500 per 3 to 500 per contract is a 30 to 50 tick trade, and that's going to be 30 is going to be typical. It's not going to be the absolute maximum for Spotlight, but it's going to be the typical high end of the range. You'll see a few larger when it takes a fourth or fifth bar to get beyond the balance line. But you don't get many of those. So you're looking at 2%. You're quite welcome, Bob. So yeah, your 2% risk if you're trying to get to trade two contracts, uh, you're looking at $35,000 to $50,000 accounts just to trade two contracts on the 377 tick and keep your risk in line. Any other questions? Well, it looks like we're down to 3 watching, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a morning, and we will see everybody tomorrow. Everybody have a good one.